How's Sarah? Episode 606. How's Sarah for episode 606?
She's doing good. I mean,
my sister was talking about how, no matter what you're going through, whenever I ask you that, you're like, I'm doing well.
Because it's always a surprise to me. Because, I'm like, well, you know what? I am okay.
I'm doing
okay. What can I complain about? I mean, I'll find something, but...
Yeah, you keep a real good attitude. It's impressive.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah. It's a gift, though.
Every time we come on here, I don't get a lot of opportunities to see you. And so when we do this episode, I'm like, oh, there's my Suze. And so I always have to, point out things that you're wearing that I like. I love the trim on your sleeve, whatever that kind of. What is that called?
Yeah, what is that called?
It's like this '90s thing that's back now. It's kind of like a ruffled edge of a seam. I don't know the name for it, but I love this. I don't
know how you notice stuff like that.
I don't know.
You're so aware of things.
Wow,
it's impressive.
I love your ruffly edge.
How about how you might also notice that my hair is about 6 inches shorter.
Uh-oh.
There was an incident.
No. Uh-oh. Who do we have to blame?
Well, a few people. But one thing that I think is funny to talk about is how I'm convinced that, hairstylists, there's the metric system. Then there's the imperial method of measuring, and then there's hairstylists.
Where you're in what universe was that 2 inches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I'm just do we use different measurements? What is happening?
Oh no, it still looks long.
But what happened was that I had gone to a different gal because my gal wasn't available, and she overprocessed it. And unbeknownst to me, she was panicking and taking pictures of all of my hair in the garbage that was coming out in clumps. Yes.
No, I'm actually.
And she was texting people.
Susie, I'm so
what do I do?
sorry.
I know.
Your hair looks amazing for that, though.
What's funny though is that once she finally told me, I was like, it's fine. Easy come, easy go.
How are you so calm? Okay, see, we just panic about different things.
Right. Well, that's the thing. And I just was talking her off the ledge. She was way more upset than I was.
And I was Meister Butler, Louise.
I feel when you bleach your hair, that you really do assume some risk.
It's like butt sex.
How is it butt sex?
You know what you're signing up for. Not for you, for the guy. Things might get messy.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, gotcha.
It's exactly I could have picked a different metaphor, but, I was just thinking about how somebody said they don't like that we talk about poo stories, so I thought, but
oh my God, right.
Pepper in a few here and there, just for good measure.
So she
was... Oh my God, Suze.
There's a lot of, bald spots evidently and stuff, but... Susie. Sarah's having a panic attack. Wait, is this worse? Maybe I should be upset.
No, you should be how you are, because you're right. It just grows back, easy come, easy go. It's
for real,
not an amputation. For goodness sakes, it's a haircut.
It is.
It's not gone
it does
forever.
Suck that it's from the scalp though.
Oh my God, my Suze.
So anyway, then I cut it because I thought,
well, it looks very good.
Does it look healthy?
It really does. It does not look like...
Thank you, Sarah.
But she, I hope she didn't make you pay for that.
She did. She did.
I mean, what are you going to do? That was me trying to hold in my outrage and scream.
Yeah. But, I mean, I really did feel it wasn't negligence. It was just she misjudged how long it would need to stay on there.
Oh, God. Why didn't Adam do it?
I know. I said I should have had him do it I did during the pandemic.
I know. He would have done better. He doesn't overprocess your hair.
Yeah. So anyway, that was that.
I'm really sorry that happened. And that you had to just, even though
it does suck.
It just, and it will grow, and your hair grows very fast.
Yeah.
And I feel and we have some good products for that.
Well, that's true. And we have, I mean, we're not talking about it in this episode, but one of our new partners is Nutrafol, which is like a hair growth product.
I gave that to a friend at, like, this is not an ad, but I gave it to a
this
friend
is not an ad. I'm just
after
saying.
she had a baby, and it really helped.
Yeah, so, I mean, whatever.
She
We'll
lost
figure
a
it
bunch
out,
of
but...
hair. Yeah. Be great.
But I do want to know, like, if you're a hairstylist and somebody says, like, 2 inches, do you just, like, do how much you think, though? Or what?
Oh,
like,
no.
what goes on behind the scenes? That's
Has
what I wanna
that
know.
ever happened in the reverse?
Right.
Have you ever, it's one of those, it's kind of like, this is what I think it is. You know how the phone companies where they're like, oh, we'll be there between 10 and 12?
Yeah.
And they've never gotten there at 10 ever in the history of making that call.
Yes.
Like in that. And hairdressers are like, oh, I'm going to take off, like, you're like, oh, I'll take off 2 inches. Has it ever actually been 2 inches, or is it is it ever less? Like, do you ever go in there and you're like,
right.
Oh, they didn't take off enough? I've never
Which it
heard
seems
that
like
complaint.
if you're going to err on one side or the other, it should be that one.
One would think.
But I guess, we're just going to have a new look now, whatever.
Well, you know what? I don't get my hair cut till the 16th, and we could be twins because I went in for a consultation because I had to get a consultation before a cut, and she was like...
You had to? They required that?
Well, with curly hair, it's like a whole thing. So it was like recommended that I come in for a consultation. And so
and she said,
she
what?
was like, well, the haircut I got in Costa Rica from the Italian woman where we were translating through my mother was not exactly even as it grew out. It is so bad.
It's lopsided?
Oh my gosh, Suze. I'll take my headphones off for a second. So
if you're
can
watching
see.
on Patreon, this is a real treat
on
right
video,
now.
So I can't hear it. But
look at that
this
mane. I'm taking a picture of this
just
right now.
Shelf. What is this?
Wait a minute. So which side's long?
Oh my! This. She's like, you have 2 layers to your haircut.
Yeah, it's like you're wearing a wig on
and
top
it's
of
not
your.
like that on the other side.
Yes, you have a one-sided wig.
Looked fine when it was short. You see that? Oh, Susie, it's not good.
Oh my god!
So she's like, good news. Well, I can definitely, like, in 2 haircuts we'll have this fixed. Bad news is you have to wait basically like 3 weeks because that was her next availability. And I was like, oh, fine, I'll take it. Put me on the cancellation list. But
it does make you realize, remember, people, the much discussed Britney Spears shaving head incident, and there's been other ones
you
too.
mean her smartest move, maybe?
Right. Like, that was the sanest thing she ever did.
Right.
Because if you have, like, the extensions and then all that crap, I can see why people would be like, screw it.
Just
I can't
start
take
over.
it anymore.
Start fresh. Well, it's kind of like rose bushes. Just cut them all back. They grow.
It is.
Cut everything. Cut it all off. It's fine. It looks like just real short for a little. My friend did it with her bougainvillea. Cut it all back and woo.
What word did you just say?
Bougainvillea?
I don't know that word.
Oh, it's a type of flower. It's a really pretty flower. It's very, very prominent. Maybe that's the word in Southern California.
Is it pink?
Yes, and it's
I keep
beautiful.
seeing
It looks
pictures
like,
of that.
It looks like paper when it dries, and when the leaves are gorgeous. They're like little tiny lanterns almost.
Well, my bougainvillea is, I mean, it's sad and everything, but you got to move on.
Yeah.
I have one more personal story that I think is funny. My mom and I were talking about conspiracy theories, and my favorite one about how, like, you actually don't need to get your wisdom teeth removed. It's like a whole scam. This is my theory, that it's just like Big Dental wants you to.
Why do I
you
know
to
this? I mean, I think I do know this, but it's one that it wouldn't have been the first thing I thought of when you.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Well, birds are fake since we since the doing
You're
the podcast.
Still going with that one?
Yeah, because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'm mad that it was a fake
one.
Conspiracy. So it's like a conspiracy, which
About
is like
it's so
like
meta.
and weird. So, anyways, you and your mom were talking about conspiracies.
And so Link was there, and so I asked him what his was, and I truly didn't even think he would even know what that meant.
Oh,
and without missing a beat, he goes, "The golden rule." And I was like, What is conspiratorial
I'm going to need
about
the
that?
explanation for that. He's like, yeah, that's not really a thing. It doesn't really work.
Bullshit. I was like, what is
He's shitting on
conspiratorial
karma.
about the golden rule? Basically.
Tell me.
Because he goes, it doesn't matter how you treat people. It doesn't matter if you're nice or mean. People just do what they want to do anyway. My heart broke in a million pieces.
Oh, because it means that at one point he was following it until he learned through his own experiential evidence that it doesn't work. Oh my God, my heart is... Susie! This
For real.
is devastating.
Right? This is the moment. Lincoln, if you're listening in the future, this is the origin story of when you became cynical and jaded and bitter. At least we know. OMG.
Next thing you're going to tell me Santa Claus doesn't exist.
I know, right? Wait till he finds that out.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
He tried that. You know what? What that says is that. Okay, we just have to prove to him that people are good. How do we do that?
Well, I said to him, Link, that's not the golden rule. Doesn't make any promises. It doesn't say that then people will be nice. It's that you're supposed to do it anyway. Yeah. And so I really think he's misguided, but also like, holy heck.
Right. But I get what he's saying. He's saying, like, no matter how nice I am, which I can just see in a little kid's experience. He's at school. Somebody is being not nice. He's real nice to him back. And it doesn't matter that he's nice. They're still jerks. And ain't that a lesson in big... Oh. But you know what? Lincoln, if you're also listening. Yeah. It doesn't... What matters is how you feel in your heart. And if you feel the best when you're being nice and you feel good in your heart when you're being nice, then that's what you keep doing. Because it doesn't feel good in your heart to be, oh my God, that makes me want to cry.
Yeah, because being nice is its own reward. It really is.
It really is. Because what does it feel like to be not nice? Not good. That's the only, because he's fucking right.
But have you ever heard him be more my son than in that moment?
No. That is absolutely 100% your son. Gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, we need to talk about what is not a conspiracy theory at all, which is how great Daily Harvest is.
Oh my gosh.
Once you get settled in this house, Sarah, you got to stock up.
Well, because, 100%.
Yeah. Like, you won't believe it because
it's
Daily
coming
Harvest,
this week. I planned this delivery in time for when I move in and like a few days after so that I don't have to, because I knew that I wasn't going to have any of the shit to cook with or the energy to do this, but I needed healthy food to keep me going.
Yeah,
all day long.
Like live? You mean to survive?
Yeah, to survive. Correct, that thing.
Because Daily Harvest comes to your door and it's ready to roll. Like, you don't have to do anything. It's just like good to go, but it's super healthy, organic, nourishing, and delicious. The smoothies, especially if you have a kid or if you love smoothies, these are great. Super easy, super delicious. He loves them. Flatbreads are fantastic. The soups, I'm a soup gal.
Oh, yeah.
Roll into soups. They are very, very good. But they have harvest bowls, and it's all this like, you're like, I'm eating healthy, but I didn't do anything. It's almost like too easy.
I love that. You can like hide delicious vegetables.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sneaky chef. Avoid the takeout temptation and get Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/braincandy. You get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/braincandy for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/braincandy. Highly recommend it. Especially all of it. I was going to pick one thing, but then I didn't. Okay. So I finally got to watch a documentary I wanted to watch for a long time. I think we may have even referred to it on the show before. It's called Do I Sound Gay?
Oh, yeah.
And it's
I feel like I watched this.
That's what I thought. I know I didn't watch this, but
does he go to a speech coach?
Yes.
Yes, I watched this.
Okay.
Yes, but long time ago. Tell me what you thought.
I loved it. This gay guy was interested in undoing.
Oh, yes. I'm remembering this.
what he saw as like gay speak, and that's, you know, the intonation that we would associate with like a stereotypical gay guy. And it's just fascinating to me because I really do want to know, like, what is that? Is that biological? Is it a cultural?
Didn't he have some theories on it being the women that they watched on television, like Barbara Streisand and like Liza Minnelli, and it was like how these does it? I feel like that was a theory that he like.
He didn't mention the gay icons, but he did talk about how like, well, the experts said that like subconsciously growing up, we gravitate towards different people maybe that we do see on TV, or maybe they're just in our home or at school or whatever. And without knowing it, we just develop these micro differences. Mm-hmm. And that is what happens to these guys, that they connect with a more female way of behaving, stereotypically female. And that to me, it's fascinating how small the differences are, but how we all know it when we hear it.
Yes, absolutely.
They were mentioning the holding the vowels longer and like accentuating the T's and K's and S's. I didn't even know women did that, but yet when a gay guy talks, you know that it sounds like women.
Yeah.
You know, or what we think women sound like.
Yeah, there's an affect.
And so he went to these coaches and was trying to undo it, and then was like asking gay guys, do you think I sound gay, or do you think you sound gay? And it's so interesting to hear their own theories, because it's funny how things happen to us without our knowledge or awareness. Like the way you talk, you do it.
Yes.
But you don't necessarily know why.
For sure. When I was on my road trip, I listened to our book club pick that was the Jessica Simpson book.
Yes.
My internal monologue for like the next week was a Jessica Simpson. Was her voice. Because I had 16 hours
like
where all I heard was Jessica Simpson talking.
She was the only person talking to you.
The only person talking to me for like 3 days. So when I think there's something else about it being a voice that I already had in my head as I knew it to be her voice. Yeah. So it stuck around for longer than if I were to just listen to another audiobook. And
did you like
theory.
having her as your inner monologue?
It was like kind of Texas accent.
Soothing?
Like I have like a I'm like from
it's
Texas.
Cute.
Yeah, it's cute. Like, but I totally like talk like her in my mind so I think if I did that, if for 16 hours as an adult with an already preformed sense of self and voice and internal monologue can feel that shift that sticks around for about a week for me, or a few days at least, maybe not a week, maybe like, 4 days. Still.
Yeah.
Imagine a child learning, developing an internal monologue and what that voice sounds like, picking up all the things that they see. Mm-hmm. Just a thought.
Yeah. It makes total sense, but it does confuse me sometimes. And my gay friends must be so sick of me, because you know how like minority groups are like, we're sick of educating you people. Read a book. And I'm like constantly asking questions to these poor people.
Yeah.
Because I really am fascinated by whether there is a connection between gender and sexuality. Because everyone says like, gay is not about my gender. It's about who I'm attracted to. But yet there seems like there is this component that overlaps, and I really want someone to just explain it. But it's very mysterious.
I know some straight men who have that affect as well. And they are men who I feel like were surrounded by a lot of women growing up.
Yeah. That's what they said in the film. That Yeah, that if you really are surrounded by women, you probably picked it up too, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always influences from TV and stuff.
Right.
That you can't really account for. But
and Jessica Simpson.
I really recommend the film, though. I think it's on Amazon. But here's what I want to know about the Jessica Simpson book.
Yeah.
I'm reading it. I know everyone loves that audio one.
Yeah.
Tell me, okay, what did you think of the book? Just, did you like it or not? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I would say thumbs down.
It's like a meh.
It's like a meh. Like
Okay.
The things that I liked about it were not about necessarily like Jessica Simpson. It was like the world she was in. I liked the stories about the Mickey Mouse Club. I liked
I see.
that
the cultural
world,
references.
that cultural. I did feel like it was a little white saviory at a few places.
Wow. Okay.
Where it was almost like I felt like she made reference to times where she was like, but she's a nice person, so but like
She does seem very nice.
she seems very
She
nice,
does.
but it was like,
Oh my God.
and then I donated a van to the orphanage in Mexico.
No.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, that is why I'm worried because I'm not done with it. I'm like a quarter of the way through now. But I had chosen the Duggar book to read as like a hate read as a joke for our book club. Like, I'm going to read it so you don't have to and then tell you all the terrible things about
please,
it.
because I'll feel gross just like, well.
I could hardly get through it. But reading it at the same time as Jessica was interesting because they both, even though they ended very differently, like Jessica grew up in the, conservative Christian.
Yeah.
And I was just like immersed in like my childhood.
Oh my God. I felt
with
like
these two
Jessica
books.
Simpson's way more witchy.
Yeah, she is a little bit more, especially now. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we'll stop. But you should join our book club. If you're not in our book club, you guys should join because we are going to have a rip-roaring good time at this next one. I think it's going to be funny. A lot of white ladies really love that Jessica Simpson book, though. So I don't know.
I feel, we have a lot to talk about with that because I have, a whole internal monologue that's like her.
Right. Sarah's going to do method acting at the book club meeting. I would love to hear Jessica Simpson perform a Dipsy story. Right?
I'm into it.
Like if you
she
happen
does
to
kinda,
have like...
Don't you think... Oh, you didn't listen to the audiobook. But when
Right.
she would read the titles of the chapters, you could tell it was separate than the other chapters because she was definitely like... Sexy.
Seductive. Oh, Lord have
Chapter
mercy.
23. So she would be great at that.
You're so good at it. It's so funny. Yes, Dipsy stories. Sorry, stay focused, Suze. What? Say it.
I feel like this is even better. I have to tell you this. I listened to some Dipsy stories during my drive.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting. Were they meant to get you wound up?
I mean, I was
sexually?
I
Or were
need
you just
this
like,
is it was
you wanna
like
stay
2
awake?
o'clock. Yes, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I needed to stay awake. I was like, "This will totally keep me alert." I swear.
Yeah, Sarah's like totally engaged on the road.
Yep. It was a story
Into
about
it.
a threesome that these people had in the woods.
OMG, I love this.
Yep.
This is totally unexpected.
I
did not
know.
think she was
I
gonna
can't
say
believe
this.
I didn't think about that until I'm getting red. Ooh.
Well, the beauty of Dipsy stories is like you can listen to these sexy ones that will keep you wound up, like Sarah did. Or you could choose like sleep stories if you want to like be soothed into like a sexy little slumber. Or they have wellness sessions. It's basically, stuff for women especially, but anyone who wants to listen to that will get your motor running or calm you down, whatever.
Rev you up or chill you out. Gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Win-win. For listeners of the show, Dipsy's offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/braincandy. That's 30 days of full access. I keep picturing you in the car. For free when you go to dipseastories.com/braincandy. Dipsystories.com/braincandy. Sarah, you're always a surprise. You always surprise me.
I'm looking at the one I listened to is called Double Dare in the Dark.
Up.
Her plus him. I was driving, so I just randomly clicked on the first one. So I was like, yeah, we just rolled the dice with that one, and it was great. Get me alert.
It did the trick.
Awake.
So, yeah, drivers on the road, you can thank Dipsy Stories.
Yeah.
Because she's saving lives. Sarah, I have to tell you bad news.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how you're going to take this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous.
There is a sage shortage because of all you fucking white lady witches.
Yeah.
You know about this sage shortage?
Yeah.
You guys.
Well, that's because stupid people are they're selling it at freaking TJ Maxx and Urban Outfitters.
That's what
you got to get an ethically sourced one. Which really, if you read the book Braiding Sweetgrass, there's no such thing. It needs to be gifted. Okay. It's kind of like that.
Can't you guys burn something else? Like maybe
they do.
Raked leaves.
I've switched over to Palo Santo, but also because I've run out of sage. But before I would go and I would gather it, and I don't know if it was white sage, but there's a California sage that grew by where I lived, and I would just pick that and dry it out myself and make my own little bundles.
All right. Well, I would ask you to stop it because even the picking is a problem. Because all these new age witchy women are out there cleansing and calming or whatever the heck. But the indigenous people, they are not into it.
I get it.
And they claim that you guys are appropriating.
Well, because...
Because we are.
It is.
Which, also, I'd like to apologize. In a recent episode, I used the ESKIMO to refer to indigenous. I don't know, where are they from? Alaska.
Inuits? Is that?
Yeah. I don't know where they live.
Or
if they only live there. I didn't know or at least remember that was a slur now. Mm-hmm. The E word.
Yeah.
And what else did I say? Oh, and then I did. These are people telling me from the problematic Instagram stories when I asked. Then at one point, I think they said I did a Native American a war chant. Not allowed to do that. And I was like, why am I such an idiot?
We're learning. You're learning and you're self-correcting, and that's good. And your awareness. I'm sure I do it all the time. Look, I'm burning sage right and left.
Right, I know. We all mess up and everything, but I hate that because it's so avoidable.
I get them from the farmer's market. That's where, and my mom. I get it. Most of my sage comes from my mom. She's getting them down in Costa Rica from I don't know wherever that's.
Tell her to stop it because it says it hurts native populations.
Yeah,
and it's called cultural genocide because now those people don't have the sage to use for their official
their own
rituals.
ceremonies. Oh God, it's awful.
Yeah, but what I want to know is maybe. Can't you use something else for real? I know you said Pantuso or whatever you said.
Palo Santo. That was funny.
Ernie Pantuso from Cheers.
There are different. You can use you can burn whatever. You can burn rosemary. You can burn eucalyptus. Whatever you want. I feel like with anything, it's more about intention anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. Great. I'm glad we worked that out. So, white ladies, I know you're witchy and you love it.
Yeah, just get some incense.
Get sage
scented. Just wave that around.
They did wave it around. They did a study to determine the best smells and the worst smells.
Oh, can I guess?
Oh yes.
Best ones?
So the best one, they only gave one example.
Vanilla.
How do you know that?
Because that's always when studies show what are men's favorite scents. I read something somewhere one time that said vanilla cake or vanilla cookies, and it always comes down to vanilla. So
I cannot believe that. I can't believe that's the truth, and I can't believe you got it right. That's
what
amazing.
I do, Susie. I may not know shit about medical stuff, but I could guess what the best. I tell you, one of my favorite things, probably that brings me the most joy consistently.
Yeah.
Is guessing things that right. You say.
Yeah, you love it. You do it all the time.
It's I don't know. It makes learning things worth it. You know?
Totally. Really pays off.
Tell me more.
Worst smell. This one I don't agree with. I wouldn't have picked it. Worst smell.
Okay, I'm going to guess.
In the world.
Worst smell in the world.
Which, come on.
You wouldn't say, now, it's not fish because you would agree with that because of your no salmon policy. So that's definitely by your reaction.
Like, I could understand
yes,
that.
not that.
Yeah.
Worst smell. Is it ammonia?
No, but what a great guess that is.
Okay.
Because that is disgusting.
Right. And that crosses over into urine. So I thought maybe it'd be like a twofer. Is it bum stench?
Yeah. It's smelly feet.
Oh, smelly feet.
I mean,
Such a
I get
range.
it. It's not like I love smelly feet, but the worst smell you've ever smelled? Who are you hanging around, people?
If you were trapped in a room with, I could definitely think of worse smells.
Yeah, like BM.
Like the smell coming from my garbage disposal when I first moved in. I was like, what's that?
What if that was the answer? Sarah's
Garbage disposal.
What was in there, you think?
I don't know. Just like leftover, like nobody turned the water on for a while, so it was probably like whatever was growing in there. And you just needed a lemon squeezed in.
Yeah.
You know, just turn
problem solved.
That's problem solved. But like, because when I think about the best smell in the world, it's like, imagine, this is why perfumes aren't the answer to that and why it's vanilla. Imagine you're in a room where that's continuously being pumped in.
Right.
What's the most enjoyable, not intrusive scent? Almost.
Well, and most people would say cookies baking,
Yes,
which is vanilla.
which is that. So that's why it's got to be that. And so I feel like the opposite of that is like if you were in a room and pumped in, the smell was pumped in continuously and a large amount of it. I could.
Would you rather smell?
I could handle feet
though, more than a fart or poop.
I could handle feet I think feet is not as bad as all that other stuff you're mentioning.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Even ammonia, like that would make me like
yes.
Urine smell? Come on. You can't tell me that. Come on. How do we get that result? Who said?
And then
says who? Who's measuring?
She was fine with whoever said it when it was vanilla, but now she's mad at them. These are the same people, Sarah.
You're so right. When I had this is confirmation bias or whatever. There's some it's like when it's an answer that I don't have myself, I'm like, who are these idiots? It's the same as mine. I'm like, geniuses, so smart. Here's
correct. Correct answer, everyone.
This illustrates so much.
Here's what I don't get,
my scientific method, right?
Well, it's everyone's. Everyone is like this.
God, I'm dying.
You're just funny.
I walked into that.
Here's what I don't get, though, about the article. Maybe you can make heads or tails of this. So it was saying the reason is because of evolution, and you want to make sure that you're eating things that aren't going to kill you. Whatever. We all know that. Okay, but then they said,
who's going to eat their feet?
That's the thing. What does that have to do with the smelly feet? And then when it said the culture, like, you know how like on Golden Girls, Rose would always want to eat like herring and everyone would be so disgusted. Okay, so that would be a cultural preference or cultural thing. Yeah. And they said that only accounts for 6% of the difference. But then they said 54% of like what smells you like is just personal preference. So what does that have to do with evolution if it's just like depending on each human nose?
Okay. I read this recently. Remember when we were talking about, was it taste or something like that? Mm-hmm. That there's a difference between flavor and taste.
Uh-huh. I remember we talked about this.
And it has to do with the memories that are attached to it. The preference is one time I was in college and drank too much spiced rum. Stuff. Yes. And now I can never for the rest of my life smell whatever that is. Like Captain Morgan's. Can't even do it. So that would be...
That's what you're saying.
I think that's it.
54%. Wow.
Think about how strong that is.
Yes. Well,
man, I remember reading that article and being like, this is going to come up sometime later. Remember this. File. Right. My brain was like, there's a difference between taste and flavor. Because, like, you can like the the way it was described, it's like very hard to differentiate between, like, until you stop and think about it.
Okay.
Flavor and taste. Different.
Yeah. Okay. To be continued. Right now, I just want to encourage you, if you're interested in your health and maybe working out, or if you want to eat healthier, maybe you could give Noom a try.
Yeah.
It's not like a restrictive diet or workout program or anything. It's just an accountability tool.
Yes.
If you want to stay on
Helps
track.
me learn how to drink water.
No way.
Yep.
That's a good thing because you're not good at remembering that.
I know. I needed a help remembering my 8 glasses of water a day.
Yeah, so like if you want to build a sustainable long-term habit, such as Sarah wanting to drink water, then this would be a great way to do it. They use a psychology approach and cognitive behavioral therapy. So if you think that is up your alley, give them a try. They have a deal for you guys. Start building better habits for healthier long-term results. Sign up for your trial at noom.com/braincandy. That's NOOM.com/braincandy. Here's what I want to know, though.
Yeah.
If you had to say what most people's smelly feet smell like, what would the word be?
Stinky cheese.
Okay.
But
What-
if you
what does
gave me some stinky
smell?
cheese, yum.
Delish. What would that?
And you know what I would say? What stinky cheese smells like?
feet.
Smells like feet. We're trapped in a circle of disgusting, delicious, disgusting, delicious.
I think most people would say maybe sour or like
It's sour.
vinegar, like
it's
sour like that.
Yeah. Ugh. It's whatever little
But-
boys' heads smell like.
I hate that.
Do you know the smell I'm talking about?
Well, I have
From
a
about
little boy.
7. I know, right? That's why you
Yeah.
have to know. From about, I'd say maybe 5, maybe 6.5 or 7, till about 11 or 12. Maybe 13.
what is that?
There's a
It just-
smell that only boys have, and it's like their head smells sour.
Yeah.
Do we know we know
Hey,
this, right?
doctors.
And how
Instead
come
of us
little girls
guessing
don't
what that
have
is,
it?
I agree. They do not. It must be hormone related.
It's
Because
gotta
otherwise
be.
it would be universal.
This is fascinating to me. So that to me is the worst smell.
Okay, but let's say it's vinegar.
Yeah.
Or something sour.
Yeah.
Sour isn't necessarily. We just talked about why
Right.
we developed a taste for sour. It isn't necessarily a poison thing.
There's got to be a combo of everything.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, have you seen those studies that like we need the image of the entire face in order for a yawn to be contagious? Mm-hmm. You can't, if you show somebody just the eyes, they won't yawn. Just the mouth, they won't yawn. You have to see the whole picture together. It kind of feels like that, sort of. Like it's not just the smell. It's the smell paired with the fact that it's feet. Plus our brain knows that it's like why it's smelly. Maybe in the same way, ammonia in Windex doesn't smell nearly as bad. Ammonia in cat pee.
I love the smell of Windex.
Yeah, don't like smell of cat pee. Same ingredient,
No,
like
thank
similar
you.
ingredients in a weird way. Or ammonia. I mean, not the same, obviously, but you know what I mean.
I just hate when I read an article and I'm real into it and then it doesn't give me the answers that I need.
Oh, yes, we
You
are.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. You're
Oh,
like, huh?
I think Isabel.
What would
sent
you
this.
say is the best smell? Sorry, cut you off.
I would have said the cookies baking, but then once you started talking, I realized that's vanilla. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Because it is so nice.
Gosh, the best. I did have the other day when I was traveling back or whichever direction on my trip, the smell outside Krispy Kreme. Holy.
That has to be vanilla too.
It's specifically
Yeah.
fried dough because it smells the same as Disneyland.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I was like, Disneyland? No. Krispy
Yeah.
Kreme? I said, and I was like, there must be something like, what is delicious around here that's smelling like that? And it was Krispy Kreme. And I was like,
Didn't we learn at one point that Disneyland uses those pumping the air
yep,
with scents?
yep,
Yeah, it's probably vanilla.
yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
If you're a cast member at Disney, oh, Dahlia, you're listening.
Yeah, you mean your own family members? You mean our employees?
Hey, let us know what that smell is. Is that vanilla? Let me
Yeah.
know. Okay. Isabel sent this article about pet cloning, which,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We've talked about it before. Remember how Barbara Streisand?
Yes, I was just going to say that. What did she have a corgi? I feel like that seems like the animal that it would like be a corgi.
Right, like the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she cloned one of her dogs.
Or what other dog would Barbara Streisand have? A
Pomeranian.
King Cavalier.
Yeah.
No, it's not Pomeranian. That's too like princessy.
Cavalier.
It's more. It's more
a bad bitch.
regal.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I know you're gonna say princess is regal, but different level of more elevated princess. Queen, not princess.
Mm-hmm.
Corgi, not saying. Pomeranian. Who knows? I have no idea. Just okay. Continue. Yes, none of this is what you want to talk about.
It's like sometimes we forget we're doing the show.
Me too.
I zoned out.
Oh yes,
like that. It's like, yeah, let me think about it.
Meanwhile, I'm picturing the dogs.
Well, because I was just thinking about how Martha Stewart. Like, did you? Well, you probably didn't because you were on your road trip.
No, tell me what.
Well, first of all, if you're not following her on Instagram, not her business, her personal account, you got to follow it because it is so funny. Like she posts like bad pictures and like random stuff and like makes no apologies. I love it. And she posted this picture of her gardeners digging a grave and was like, what was her name? Princess Poppy or something.
Oh no.
Died
R.I.P.
because my dogs mistook it for an interloper and like mauled it to death.
What's an interloper?
Like someone who's not supposed to be there.
Oh,
like a predator.
Did she really use that word?
Yeah, she did. Interloper. I'm quoting.
That really shows how like there's just one level of separation from Martha Stewart.
That's what's great.
And whatever, like there's like just a little bit out of touch, but in like the best way.
Thing. Even just posting the picture of the gardeners digging it is like, what are you doing? And then to say that. But then when you swipe, you see this cat, and it's clearly one of those like expensive, like rich lady cats, like from the Fancy Feast commercial. And it's now dead.
Is a Pomeranian a type of cat too? No, Persian cat. That's what I'm thinking.
It was a Persian.
It's a Persian cat.
Yes.
Also, you know what kind of dogs Barbara Streisand's dog are? They're worse.
Did you Google it?
Yeah.
What is it?
And do not get mad at me, anybody who has these dogs. I understand that you like them. They're just not the dogs for me.
They're very sensitive. They're very sensitive about their dogs.
Those little white fluffy ones.
What is it? What kind?
I don't even know what they're called. They're just those white fluffy ones that like
the rich lady
every
dog.
Rich lady has these dogs. What the heck kind of dog? They should just be called rich lady dogs.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Like if you're somebody who's like, I want the things that fancy people have, this is the dog you'd get because this is the dog all fancy people have.
Yes. And we support you.
Yes. I am not a fancy or rich lady. So I cannot have this dog.
Sarah wants like dogs that are on their last leg.
I need the dog who stays in the 2-star hotel in Vegas.
Right.
It's right.
Fits right in.
Right. Not the one who was like, this isn't Caesar's Palace.
Right. Sigmund.
Yes.
Sarah had a fancy dog and they did not.
No, we did not get along.
Broke up.
No, he fucking terrorized me.
So what is crazy to me about this pet cloning, first of all, if you're going to do this, everyone knows that, yes, you can have the exact same DNA and the exact same parent, like.
Has no one seen Multiplicity?
I did not see Multiplicity. Is that Kevin Kline?
Yeah, no. Michael Keaton. You have to see it. Susie, see it. Lincoln would like it too. Lincoln appropriate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that could make this happen. It wouldn't be like Interstellar. I might actually do it.
Yeah, no. It's like, it's just, okay. See, I'm going to undersell it so then she wants to see. I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah, but like, it's okay. Let me know what you think. And then I'll be like, okay.
But
let Sarah know.
He clones himself, and every single one, they get a little dumber.
Well, right. And like, so much more than our DNA informs who we are. Our birth experience, our childhood, our everything. Even like our, elementary school teachers. And the same is true for pets.
Yes.
And
she's not going to get the same dog.
Right. So
just get the same kind of dog.
Yeah, it should be fine, you guys. Because otherwise, you're going to have to spend $50,000 for a dog $30,000 for a cat, which any debate about which is superior, I think, could be answered with that. I mean, $50,000 for a dog. Yeah. $85,000 for a horse. Who is doing that?
See, now you're looking at the value being like what the thing gives back. I'm going by weight.
Maybe it is.
It's like,
you mean how much they weigh?
Yeah, but question. What if you had a Chihuahua and you had a really big cat, Himalayan?
You can tell Sarah just moved because they do like things by weight a lot of times. Like when she's like, I can see the price difference is really making sense.
100%. I'm like, they're definitely going to charge more for this.
Yeah, if you got a Chihuahua or a Mastiff and you pay the same price,
that seems
unjust.
Because if you're going, if you say price range, cat, dog, horse, and then small, medium, large, my assumption is it's based on size.
Maybe it's on difficulty of cloning, the cloning procedure.
Tell me how a dog is more difficult to clone than a cat.
Well, that's
why a horse all of a sudden becomes twice as hard.
Well, this is the part I never thought about, like how this was actually happening. I guess I just...
Are they like cloning them? Oink, oink.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then it just like, clone is an acronym for like closely labeled off.
I'm dying. So funny. This is now her favorite conspiracy theory, that they don't actually
that we don't actually clone anything. We just get a lookalike. Standard.
It just said that, like, well, first of all, the success rate is only 20%.
Oh,
so you
for
pay all
Pete's
that
sake.
money.
What do you...
I don't know if you get your money back or they keep trying or what.
Oh.
And then it said it can be painful and distressing for the female animals that have their eggs removed for donation and for those that are prepared for surrogate pregnancy. What?
Well,
I don't understand how this works.
What the clone's got to grow in. Where did Dolly grow?
Right? I
know.
Picturing it in
Suze, I was about to ask one of the dumbest questions. I was about to be like, well, they do it while the other thing's alive? Like, I thought it was like a tradesy, like you're stuffing an animal and it just like we're keeping. I don't know. I've watched some different sci-fi movies.
I still feel like I don't know. I don't even know if that's a dumb
clue.
question. I'm like, wait, how are they doing this?
Yeah, and I was like, do they stay like? Okay, let's think about this. All we're doing is getting the DNA, the genome, like that DNA profile. So all you have to do is extract DNA. So what? We get a blood sample.
Then what are they doing with these ladies' eggs?
And then they probably
they
genetically modify the eggs in the donor. Do you know how you can like turn genes on and turn genes off and do like genetic or gene manipulation? Maybe it's that. Look at this. I'm totally guessing like I'm a genealogist or something.
A genealogist?
I mean, 5 minutes ago, I didn't know if the donor needed to be.
She's like on Ancestry.com.
I don't even know what the word.
Sarah's just like on Ancestry.com looking up like where this sheep came from.
This is why people are like, don't talk about medical stuff, you dummies.
For real. I do not know anything. I do not understand.
What? You're welcome. Everybody out there is laughing along with this. I am so glad that my stupidity can bring you some humor.
Listen,
and
you
some
haven't
laughs.
been getting a lot of sleep.
No, I'm sleeping on an air mattress that I have to reinflate at 2 a.m. No, I did get a new one, so I don't have to do that anymore.
Did get a new one.
Oh, my God. I'm crying. I'm actually crying. Oh,
that's another
so funny.
Conspiracy theory is how those air mattresses are all crap and pop in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, this is Susie's conspiracy theory.
But you're right. Up.
Because I told her that mine popped. I don't know if we talked about that in here just personally.
No, we did not.
I told her that I got home one night and I got home the night like I arrived and it was so late and everything. And then I blew up my air mattress, slept on my air mattress in the middle of the night, woke up and it was halfway deflated. And I was like, motherfucker. Hole.
Wait a minute.
halfway.
Wasn't I the last person to use that air mattress when I was moving from LA?
Oh, no.
And you
no, because I took it.
What if I'm the person that... Okay.
And you're not nearly as bad as my friend Megan. Yeah, Megan, I hope you're listening right now. Who
wow, no shout out.
Walked across it. Not a shout out. Shout out to me for surviving this night.
For me.
It was at her bachelorette party. She walked across it in stiletto high heels. What do you think happened?
Well, I think we know what went wrong there. I'm blaming the manufacturer, and it was Megan. Whoever that is. Yes. Do I know her?
Probably.
Megan, listen.
Yes. Right.
What was she thinking?
I don't know. We might have been drinking.
That was so like I
walked right across it, like fully confident too. Like did not no hesitation.
Not a care in the world.
Nowhere in her in her mind was these very pointy weapons may poke this balloon.
What if like the opposite of walking on eggshells is walking on an air mattress and she was just doing what you're supposed to do?
Yes.
Think about
boop, 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 boop.
Here I am thinking that it's the manufacturer when really you are living this crazy life.
No, well that one was not the same one. This one, I think the last time I used it was on a camping trip. So
I've heard the stories about that air mattress.
Wait.
What?
Maybe not. Oh, no. I used it when I moved. That's right. Because I was like, maybe because I went camping with it before you moved.
Yeah. It's weird how time is like, I do not know whether that was before
either.
or after.
I don't either. Actually, I don't know either.
It was definitely when you were with Ren, and I remember we did an episode about the camping trip. Where did I live? ?
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been tracking Sarah's shout-outs for now, 6 years?
Yeah.
That was, I don't know if you can ever top shout out to myself she did today. She's done like objects.
Shout out to myself for surviving. Yeah, because I had to sleep on nothing.
Right. So shout out.
And she was like the
yourself.
bride, so I'm not going to be like, yo, get out of my bed. Get out. Like, I'm taking your bed. I just slept on the floor. Shout out to me. That's a well-deserved shout out, please.
Okay. Well, I loved it, and that was great. So what I'm saying is don't clone your pets. Because it's a waste of money, you guys.
Yeah. Just get the same kind of pet and name it the same name.
For real. Nobody cares.
What
I do understand the desire. I get why,
don't.
You love them. Oh, wow.
Because what if you're missing out on the personality of another dog? Like,
ooh, this is interesting. Because then I just thought, what if, God forbid, something happened to my child?
Right.
And then somebody said, we can clone your child. I wouldn't do it.
Right. This is what I'm saying. I wouldn't do it with Bo because I think about Bo and I'm like, I want the memory of you. But then because what is the precursor to disappointment? Expectations.
And we are famous for that.
Famous for optimism. And imagine how optimistic you'd be about a cloned pet.
Right, that's what I
Bad
don't
news
get.
bears.
These people are setting them up.
And haven't you seen, like, I don't know, every horror movie ever? That's like, oh, we cloned our son. He's a little different. Oh, we brought this person back. They're not quite the same. Oh. Multiplicity is a lighter version of that, but essentially the same thing.
It does seem like you're asking for trouble.
Definitely. Capital T, AWH there.
Oh, well, since we talked about hair, I'll just tell you this quickly. I forget who sent this to me. It was a brainiac about this little boy who has something that I never heard of called uncombable hair syndrome. And it only affects blonde people, and it's only 100 cases worldwide.
Is it really, really fine hair?
I guess so.
Uncombable, ow.
It's triangle-shaped follicles. You know how
what?
each type... Yes. You got to Google this, kid.
I'm Googling it right now. I that blows my mind. Whoa,
well, because what are the shape of curly haired people. It's different. It's like
it's like a
oval,
oval, like a flat oval.
Yeah.
Uncombable hair syndrome.
So the shape of your follicle determines what type of hair you end up with, straight or curly or whatever. And this little guy, he's an example of someone with this syndrome.
Wow.
Super cute. But like if you didn't know,
it's almost
you would
crimped.
just think
They kind of look like Einstein.
Yeah, like Einstein, but then like you said, like crimped. Like if Einstein crimped.
Yeah.
And how there's just like nothing you can do. I wonder what happens if it's wet. It must just like look like regular wet hair, right?
What would you do?
Yeah,
what would you do?
Well, shave it.
I would just be like, we're going bald. Because the idea of uncombable means like it would have like just knots all the time. It would hurt.
Oh, right. I didn't even think of that.
That's what I like. Even when if I don't take care of like my hair, if I just let the curls go crazy, if I like didn't brush it or not like I don't really brush it, but if I didn't use like a detangler to separate them,
yeah,
I'll get like the knots hurt to get out. They're like, because you just feel like you're ripping all your hair out.
It must be a lot worse if you're a girl that has it, because typically girls grow their hair.
Yeah.
And so shaving it is more stigmatized, as we talked about with Brittany.
Right.
So thankfully this little guy's, maybe it's more common in boys. It didn't say that, it just said blondes. But why would it be specifically blonde? That's so weird too.
I think it's got to be just like a genetic mutation that happens to be in that.
It accompanies that gene.
Yeah, kind of like sickle cell anemia. Like people who have sickle cell anemia tend to be black.
Right. I don't know whether it's just higher rates or only.
I don't even know either.
Yeah.
See, not a geneticist or a genealogist.
Not a geneticist, not a doctor.
Or
not
a genealogist.
We really don't know anything.
Therapy, that's it. Expert on that. Could definitely answer your questions on those things.
The further I am out of grad school, the less I know, because unless you're constantly immersed in scholarship that keeps coming out, you really do get behind. So I'm
100%.
working on staying abreast, but it's not the same as when you're doing it full time.
Totally.
So I really don't know anything. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh my God. Who does?
Let's wind it down.
Wow, that went by so fast.
Oh my God, that was one of my favorites, and it's probably going to be everyone's least favorite because
Get out.
Crazy. Yeah, we were crazy.
You're making me laugh so much today. I'm sorry about your hair fiasco. I think it looks beautiful. Definitely combable.
It is combable, and that's a thing. Anytime I have something like that, even when I posted that about my Raynaud syndrome or whatever, about the blood
which
flow.
I can't believe you have, because I Googled the other day because my fingers were so cold. I was like, why do the tips of my fingers get so cold? I don't have it where they turn white like that. And that's when I was like, oh, I don't have that. Who does? Turns out my best friend. And then I've never heard you mention it ever. And you post a picture of it a few days after I Google it, and I've never Googled it or looked it up. Get out.
That is weird.
It was weird. When you posted that, I was like, is she posting an article about that? Oh my God, that's her own damn finger. Susie.
I'm glad you don't have it, because it sucks. Is
it painful?
No, it's just like the same as if, you've had your fingers or something go numb for other reasons, right? Like if you are really, really cold, like a normal person.
Yeah, but it hurts. It's like pins and needles?
Yeah, and it's just, I describe it as creepy. It's like, why don't I feel my finger right now? It's creepy. Not just when I'm outside. It's like I'll be in my house and it'll happen. I hate it. But the recommendations are like, bundle up. Like there's no answer.
My God. Get some mittens.
Anytime I have something like that, it's like, yes, it's annoying. I wish I didn't have it, but I'm so thankful in general for my health. And I really try to remember that, because even when you just have like a freaking cold or something, you remember how lucky you are. So, spirit of gratitude over here.
Being grateful.
Brain Candy
hashtag
Podcast.
blessed.
Check out the Do I Sound Gay documentary if you haven't seen it. Amazon. Such a fascinating concept. Jessica Simpson's book. You got to come to book club, you guys.
Yes.
And hear, because I think it's going to be a riot.
Can I tell you a funny story about this book? So I use OneDrive. What is the one that's library? That's like the app for all the libraries.
Oh yeah, I have that one.
I can't remember what it's called. OneDrive, Open Drive, something like that.
It's called Hoopla. I used Hoopla. That's the audio one.
So, there's an audio one. I should check that out because this one's kind of hard to find. It's
or
called
Libby.
Overdrive. It's called Overdrive.
Oh yeah, okay, I've heard of that. Mm-hmm.
And I typed in Jessica Simpson, clicked on it, and it was in my library. The title of the book is Open Book.
Yeah.
I could not stop clicking it. And then got so frustrated when it wasn't
Why
playing.
won't it open?
Why won't it open? It took me a good, I'd
too
say.
Long.
Too long. In my mind, it was 5 minutes. Where
right, because even if it's 10 seconds, you're just I can't believe I just did that.
What? And then I was like, okay. That was a Jessica Simpson moment that I just had.
Good point. It's very in the spirit of her.
Totally.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, how Jessica of me, which I don't know if she likes or does. Still.
Do you think, did you finish that book?
Yes, I did.
Does she ever explicitly say, my dad is gay?
You know what? She talks about that they both, her
how
mom and dad,
a man
both
to her wedding.
Yes, that they both brought significant others. And I was like, huh? But then I didn't rewind it. But now that you say that, she does in a way, not explicitly, but
that's going to be something I want to talk about at book club because
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That is, he was married to fucking what's her name, the mom, for 34 years.
Right,
that
because
poor guy.
She said they had a friendship, not a. They were friends, but not lovers.
That can work for a lot of people,
right?
And maybe
until he wants a lover.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, pet cloning. Shout out to Sarah. All that jazz.
All this and more.
Subscribe, guys. Leave us a review. Subscribe. We love you so much. Bye.
Bye.